Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, August the 2nd, 2024. Friday, August the 2nd. Well, guess what? Jocelyn did spring into action. She jumped right in that pool. She turned the body over slowly and she saw it was Christina. And she's like, Christina? And Blaze could see, everybody could see it was Christina. From Brooklyn to Blaze did this, blood curdling scream because that's the woman she loves. And she's trying to rush to the pool, and her mother's holding her back. Honey, no, no. Let her work. No, stay out of the way. So Jocelyn was holding up Christina, up in the water, keeping her body straight. And she listened. She could tell Christina had a heartbeat. Christina was breathing. So Gio started to come to the water. He goes, what should I do? What should I do? She goes, get the straight board. So he runs and he gets the straight board and he comes into the water and she tells him, tilt it on its side, get it up under her, and then, let it go straight so it can be supporting Jocelyn's body. So, together they got that done. And so Jocelyn says, okay, so now I need you to help me get her to the stairs. And then we have to get her out of the pool with keeping the board straight, right? So they did that, even though they didn't show it. They did that. And then they strapped Christina's head in so that if she had a neck injury, would Jocelyn did very, very well. She would have made a good doctor. She really, really would have. So while all this is happening, when they realized it was Christina, Trina looked up because she knew whose room that was, overlooking the pool like that. Trina looked up and Ava was in the window. And Ava steps back and she closes the curtains because she didn't want nobody to see her. She didn't know Trina was looking at her, right? And Ava is in a panic. Said, think, Ava, think. She's calling Scott. She's calling Scott. If I ever needed you, I need you now. Scott, come straight to my room. And so she's trying to figure out, okay. I didn't mean for this to happen. Of course, Ava never means for anything to happen. Never, right? She says, okay, I gotta make it look like this was all Christina's fault. So she takes John's bags and puts them in her closet or puts them away. Then she takes out some stuff. She messes up the room. She throws ice on the floor. She gets a pair of her shoes out of her closet and she messes up the pillows in there. She puts her shoes by the window. And I looked at that and I thought, what's that supposed to do? Okay, whatever. So Dante arrives, paramedics get there, Dante and Chase get there, and he sees it's Christina. And he's like, oh my God, what happened? And Jocelyn's telling him, what she knew. And the paramedics said, okay, we're getting ready to transport her to GH. And Blaze says, I'm coming with her. And they said, are you family? And Blaze just stands there like, no, I'm just a girlfriend, right? So Christina says, I'm her sister. I will ride with her. And so Dante says, okay, and Blaze says, let her know I'm going to be at the hospital. Let her know, right? And so Gio says, no, Trina, what somebody says, has anybody called her parents? Maybe it was Gio. And Gio called Sonny because he doesn't have Alexis's phone number or anything. So Gio called Sonny, but only after Dante had been trying to call Sonny. Because Gio said, I don't think anybody's called, Uncle Sonny. So Dante's trying. Sonny's out of his office. He comes back in. When he comes back in and hears his phone ring, and it was Gio, and he answered the phone, right? And he goes, Detective Dante Falconet, Dante's been trying to call you. And he goes, okay, I've been busy. And what? And Gio says, Uncle Sonny, I'm at the MetroCorp pool. There's been an accident. He goes, okay, and he goes, someone fell from a high window from one of the rooms and they landed in the pool. And Sonny's like, and his eyes are big. He goes, well, who was it? And he goes, Christina. The paramedics are taking her to General Hospital. So Sonny's like, oh, he's on his way. Now, mind you, Lois, the conversation still finished with Lois. Now, Lois, you know how Sonny was mad and Sonny was, talking about you can leave and all this. And she goes, I'm not leaving. She says, what I'm asking is reasonable and you know it. I don't want any of your mob money because Sonny, I know, entangled into this business because that would hurt Brooklyn. I need to know. He goes, well, it won't be. And she goes, okay. I need proof of the money you're investing, where it came from, and I need to see that you paid taxes on it. And I'm thinking, whoa, go ahead, Lois. And he just looked at her and he goes, I will have my accountant get in contact with my accountant. You can see it. She goes, Sonny, don't push this off on your accountant. My green screen is doing a little shadow. I don't know why. She's like, don't push this off on your accountant. Push me off on that. He goes, Lois, because he had told her 2 times or maybe 3, this is not a good time for me. And he goes, you know what? I told you, Lois, this is not a good time for me. Now, I'm honoring what you want. In other words, I'm only dealing with you because we go way back. He says, but I'm telling you, my accountant will get in contact with you and you can look at whatever you want to look at. So she paused. She said, you know what? Okay, I will wait for your accountant. Sonny, I hate that things are strained between us because you know how I care about you. And so she goes, but okay, I understand it's not a good day for you. I'll go ahead and leave and I'll wait for your accountant. So she leaves. And then that's when Sonny, I guess, goes and does something and comes back and gets the phone call from Gio. Well, Chase was with Dante and he says, lock this place down. Don't let anybody leave. That's up here. We need to get all the statements, right? So he tells Dante, do you want to go? Because Gio says, Dante, I got a hold of Uncle Sonny. He's on his way to the hospital. Dante says, good. So Chase says, do you want to go to the hospital? I can handle this. And Dante says, no, my father will be there. He will make sure Christina is in good hands. So no, I need to be here and I need to try to find out what happened. So they're looking up at the room and they don't know whose room it is yet. So Trina comes over to them and says, detectives, and Trina tells her, but we don't see that on the camera. But Trina tells them it's Ava's room and she saw Ava looking down. Not that she's trying to dime or snitch on Ava, but they're questioning her. She's telling what she knows. She's not going to cover up nothing because there shouldn't be nothing for her to cover up, right? If it were truly an accident. So Dante comes up to Ava's room. Now, in my mind, I thought, wrong move. Wrong move. For one, I was wondering why they both were down at the pool, even though they didn't know whose room that was. The room is where the actual accident happened. There were police officers down there at the pool taking statements, right? Chase and Dante should have immediately went up to that room, knocked on that door and see who was in there. Seriously, right? Because that person could have been getting away. But Ava's busy restaging the room. So she opens the door and Dante walks in. And I thought, oh, shoot. Mistake number 1. Your sister's the one that got hurt. If you want stuff to really stick, Chase should be the one asking the questions of Ava because you're too close to the Ava situation. Ava's daughter is your little sister. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That was a little too messy for me. So Dante Ava saying, yeah, Christina came there because I subpoenaed Christina to testify, for me, my, for Avery's custody. And I thought she was coming over here, to let me know that she was going to do it. Dante looked at her. Dante said, wait a minute. You know, Christina would not be coming here to tell you she's going to testify on your behalf. Well, I thought she would have sense. I thought she would be able to go on and, tell what she honestly knows, what a danger her father is and how volatile he is, and, all of this hoopla. And so she goes, but she wasn't. She was enraged. I've never seen her like this before. She came at me. She was just off her rocker like her father. She started tearing this place apart and she lunged at me. And when she lunged at me, I moved out the way and she fell out the window. Dante looks at her and he said, okay, you know what? Am I supposed to believe Christina, who wouldn't hurt anyone, that she came here and tried pregnant and tried to attack you? Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself. Right? She says, but she lost her footing. And so Dante says, okay, now are these shoes just two pumps Ava had laid on their side? Is this what she's supposed to have tripped on? And Ava said, yeah, those are my shoes. She said, these shoes, he said, these shoes aren't large enough of an obstacle to give her the velocity to fall out a window. Not these. Well, she is pregnant. Maybe she lost her balance, tripped over the shoe, lost her balance, and fell out the window. And Dante looked at her and Dante said, okay, if that was the case, why are these curtains still perfectly up here? And Ava's like, what are you talking about? See, if Christina slipped on these shoes, for one, the shoes were close to the window too. If she tripped on these, she would have grabbed the curtains to keep her from falling out the window. But these curtains are closed. Did you close them? No. He said, then this wouldn't have happened. Do you want to rethink that statement? So Ava says, well, you know what? Now that you mention it, maybe they were opened. He says, then why did you close them? Because after what happened, I was so upset that I was too afraid to even look down. So I closed them. He says, okay. He says, then did you, after you closed them, did you open them again? She said, no. He says, okay. You know what, Ava? I have a witness that saw you looking out the window down at Christina in the pool. Looking. And then you closed the windows. Well, what difference does it make? Curtains closed, curtains open. It doesn't make any difference. The point is, she was unhinged, and I moved out the way trying to protect myself. She came to my hotel room to assault me. He said, Ava Jerome, and he takes out his handcuffs. He goes, I am placing you under arrest. She says, for what? He said, Because you're lying, which means you've got something to hide. You better hope Christina and her baby makes it. Or you'll probably be looking at a murder charge. And she's looking, you can't read. He goes, putting them handcuffs right on her, right? So Christina's en route to the hospital, but I didn't tell you about the long TJ, everybody. TJ was way out of line, telling Alexis, that you need to talk to Christina. Alexis says, I'm going to stay out of it. What if that means Christina, she plans on keeping our baby? How can you stay out of it? You staying out of it means you're on Christina's side, and Molly is going to feel you took Christina. See, TJ was speaking for Molly. I'm surprised Alexis didn't check him right there and say, you know what, TJ? I speak to Molly on a regular basis. I do. I spoke to Molly just earlier today after she took those papers over there. Molly knows I'm staying. Alexis should have took a harder stance with TJ. She should have put him in his place because he had the nerve. He goes, by you, she goes, what do you want me to do? I will absolutely not choose one daughter over another. She goes, I told you all in the beginning, this was a bad idea. I told you more than once, you do not do this without the proper paperwork in place, period. Or you needed to use an outside person. But no one wanted to listen to me. I'm not going to choose between my girls. I'm not. And so then he told her, well, you're a coward then. I would have looked at him and said, you know what, son-in-law? You're going to tell me I told you so? And Alexis should have said, that's the very definition of I told you so. This is you, Molly, and Christina's mess to decide. I will not, because none of you would listen to me in the beginning to get this done right. I would have told him that. And so she's like, I hate that you feel that way. And he goes, well, I'm just telling you, I already know how Molly's gonna. I'm like, no, you don't. So shut up. I was just so through with him. Of course, the ambulance arrives and Christina is brought in where they're still right there. TJ was actually just getting ready to walk away from Alexis when he sees. And Alexis walks over and she's like, Christina. And Jocelyn tells them both briefly what happened. And the doctors are taking Christina into the room, and TJ tells the doctor, I'm the baby's father. I can assist any way I can. And he goes, no. You let us work, because you can't work on your own family, TJ, because you would be in there to heck with Christina. Just save the baby, not even think about both. No, TJ. Alexis would be the one to make the arrangements, or Alexis and Sonny are the ones that talk, are able to make decisions for Christina. Okay. So anyway, Christina gets taken into the room, the exam room, and Sonny arrives, and Alexis is breaking down, and Sonny comes over, and Alexis, she's crying, and she turns to him, and she's hugging him, and he's like, he goes, where's Christina? Said, she's in the room. And the doctor came out and said that the placenta, had separated from the womb, which caused bleeding, of course, could be death for both. And he said, I forget what he said was also wrong with Christina. So they were taking her in for an emergency C-section right away so that they can make sure they get the baby stable. And then, they're going to, she didn't sound life-threatening, but if they don't take care of it, it will be life-threatening for her. So she's on her way. They were gonna wheel her out to do that, and they just showed her the nurses got her the oxygen mask on, and they're getting ready to take Christina to surgery. Then there was a minor conversation with Brooklyn and her mother. Lois says had left Sonny's, and she goes, "What were you doing at Uncle Sonny's?" And so she goes, "Oh, we were just talking." She goes, "Okay, by the way, you're not telling me what you were talking about. You were talking about me, weren't you? Why? What?" And so Lois told her, she goes, "Mom, I'm an adult." She goes, "I know you're an adult, honey. I know. Just want to make sure that we look, all Uncle Sonny's money ain't clean, right? But I'm going to make sure the money he's invested in your business, in the record label is." She goes, "Mom, I know how to." She goes, "Honey, I know you do. And I know you feel like I went behind your back, but I love you, and I'm not going to let anything happen to you." So anyway, they hugged it out. It wasn't no big deal, but yeah, that was it. I mean, nothing earth shattering, just Ava just lying through it. Christina's this enraged, crazy mad woman that tripped on a pair of shoes that gave her the velocity to fall out a window. Wow. That's telling you she didn't have time to think, because that wasn't even the right story. And what else is interesting? Come on now, when Christina wake up, she's not even going to say the same. I don't know what Ava was thinking. I really, really honestly don't know what Ava was thinking about that. So, all right, everybody, let's go to comment corner. I'm going to, there are so many comments, over 60 comments in comment corner. So what I'm going to do, how I usually start from the top, go down, start from the bottom, go up. Today, everybody, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, I am going to start from the middle, or what I perceive as the middle. It's like, I spent the wheel. So I just scrolled down the comment page and stopped here. And I'm going to start from where I'm at now and go down. That's what I'm going to do. So this way, those of you that started answering in the middle, hopefully I catch you. Now, Bowberry Sherry says, don't be anywhere high up with Ava. Remember what happened to Esme and now Christina. And DL said, pretty thin windows at the most visited place in town. That high-end Metrocourt, I know, for her to falling out. Like, really, I know, DL. And Shayash says, I'm sure Josh will jump in and begin at the beginning of today's episode, seconds after Christina falls. And she does. Jocelyn did a good job. Because of Jocelyn, Christina saved, even though somebody else would have jumped in, but Jocelyn knew to keep that body straight. Jocelyn knew, lifeguarding medical procedures to do. So good job, Jocelyn. And then Linda says, here we go again. Ava, you are screwed. Even though I want Sonny to have full custody of Avery, and Ava just visits. Leanne says, neither Sonny nor Ava had a real shot of winning the custody case. They are both not fit, not a good influence as parents. They are both criminals with a lot of strikes against them. Terry says, Ava did kill Connie and was responsible for what happened to Morgan's medication too. And Ava's still responsible for what happened to Christina. She did grab her. Yeah, she did. And you know what? I don't understand, everybody. The person taking those pictures were hired by Sonny. We know it's not Brick, because Brick knows what Christina looks like, and he would have called Sonny right away. So the person that Brick hired to take the pictures, he wouldn't know that was Sonny's daughter, and he would get those pictures back to Brick to get over to Sonny, or get them straight to Sonny. But Sonny's going to know, and it's going to show Christina walked around, but it's going to show Avery The pictures are going to show it did not happen any way near what Ava is saying. And that's what's going to be so great. Her story is going to be proven a lie by pictures. Cindy says Ava didn't push Esme or Christina. Esme fell backwards after a struggle with Ava on the parapet. Christina tripped over Jagger's back. That's true. And fell through a cheap window. It was cheap. Cindy says the writers goofed. How could Christina fall from Ava's room into the Metrocourt pool when the pool is on the roof? No. The pool is on a roof, I guess probably part of the roof of the hotel. Remember, there have always been rooms going up both sides of that pool. Because remember the shooter, when the shooter shot at Sonny, he was from one of those high windows, from one of those rooms. So you know how different hotels have different levels? That roof could be that pool could be on the roof of possibly the lobby area of the hotel, but the actual rooms where the towers are, that's not where the pool is. And then J Girl says reverse physics. Yeah, but they've always had rooms overlooking the pool, always. And Tredejer says great point. Nakadu says, I wonder if Ava will tell the pharmacist to fix the meds so Sonny doesn't go crazy and kill her, LOL. Jacarly says, TJ would have the same rights as Christina. Absolutely. Yes, the courts usually give physical custody to the mom if both parents agree. But if the judge would decide he could get sole custody like Sonny against Carly and Ava at one point. I don't remember Sonny having sole custody of Morgan or Donna against Carly. I don't remember that at all. Like Spinelli, like Rick did with Alexis over Molly. And when you compare TJ and his family to Christina and hers, any court would give TJ custody of the baby. Nope. TJ would have to prove Christina is an unfit mother to get custody over her. And he can't prove that. Just like him being denied visitation. Christina couldn't petition that because he's not proven an unfit father. We have to remember TJ and Molly were together since they were 15. He knows all the ins and outs. Nah, he don't know all the ins and outs of the dirt because Molly doesn't know. Molly would know from what she has seen in the files in reference to her working in the DA's office, but she could not divulge that evidence and make it public to TJ. He absolutely could not know anything in any of those files, or Molly would be in jeopardy of her law license. Now, one thing TJ definitely knows is Sonny took a bullet for him, right? Mm-hmm. And let's talk about his mother. Why did TJ get kidnapped? Yeah. See, Jordan brought a lot of danger to the family too. That's why she sent him to live with Sean while she's undercover doing her thing. So there we have it. Jacarly says, Sam and Alexis both know that Molly and TJ what they are saying is right. Everyone is catering to Christina's feeling, and Molly has to be the understanding one. She has the most to lose, not just her baby, her sister, and maybe her husband partner, because this is going to be ugly. Okay, this is going to be ugly. Who has caused the most tension in the relationship with this pregnancy between TJ, Molly, and Christina? Who has caused it? It's been TJ. 100% TJ. So, Jacarly says, the nannies are raising Violet like all the other kids. I am says, Christina subpoena doesn't mean she can't speak to Ava. Oh, okay. They should have left Christina off the witness list. That's true, off the witness list. Dex would have been the better one of the two. That is so true. He's a cadet or rookie, whichever one he is. You know, he would tell the truth, and his testimony would have weight. I am says GH does miscarry and kill kids off. Remember Sam's first child, Bobby's daughter's heart got donated to Maxie. Michael was shot in the head. Jake kidnapped and brainwashed. GH takes kids through it. They sure do. Lois isn't scared of Sonny. I don't agree with the comments that Chrissy put the baby in danger. I don't agree with the comments that Chrissy put the baby in danger. It's wrong to assume that a pregnant woman can read minds. Christina could slip in her apartment and be accused. That's true. Doesn't Sonny have Brick watching Ava's apartment? Yeah, but not Brick personally. I wouldn't think, because Brick would already have seen Jordan. That would have been cute. Will Ava try to kill Chrissy if she's in a coma? Ooh, she bet not. Right now, Ava's in jail, right? And Patricia says, Esme fell from a high place into water and gave birth to a healthy baby. So I think Christina and the baby will be all right. Hope everyone helps Jocelyn get the heavy pregnant, wet Christina out of the water. Hope it's Kate's. No, it was Geo, and they used a safe board. P. Merle says, oh, please, everyone but Jack. Donkey. I know what you mean, Jack, right? I am says, Esme dove off. She was fully aware and a swimmer. Christina fell backward, not a true swimmer. I don't know. When Esme and Ava were fighting on that parapet, I don't know that Esme jumped. I think she fell. When Nicholas was holding her captive and she was pregnant and she was, started that fire, and she told Nicholas, I survived once, I could survive again. And she held her hands up and went back. Then she intentionally went into that water. B. Brown says John Cates needs to be fired and dismissed from the FBI. Sonny is coming after Ava and him. I don't think he cares if he if he lets go to prison or has to go to prison. Is that what you were trying to say? All right, everybody, that was in the center. I got all those great comments from the center. Thank you so much for all your comments. Everybody, oh my God. If you read everybody's comments from Comment Corner, you know exactly what happened on the soap. So I'll be back on Monday. We know this baby's we don't know the baby's gonna survive. But since Rick Lansing is coming to town, I bet it's to help his daughter with the custody part. That baby's gonna survive. Okay. So I'll see you Monday.